Hi there, I'm Chris. Welcome to Jumpstart. Today we're going to be chatting about how the National Energy Skills Center, the NESC, can help you jumpstart your career in the energy and industrial sectors, or maybe even start your own business.
I think I need a jump start.
Today we'll be chatting with Vishal Rajkumar, a Millwright instructor. Hi Vishal, welcome to Jumpstart.
Thank you, Chris.
My first question is usually, how do you start your morning? Do you need help to jumpstart your day?
My mornings are already planned, Chris. Actually, I pre-planned them way before. But obviously, who starts a morning without a large cup of coffee? I take my large cup of coffee every morning and I go forward with that. But for the class, the previous day before I close off, I tell my trainees what we have planned for the other day. And I go into the lab and I plan all the requirements. It's advantage because the trainees come in expecting certain things, and my day flew properly when you see everything has planned previously and I can carry it through.
So do you do that early in the morning or do you prepare the evening before?
Oh, that's only completion of the class. That's in the evening.
Okay, so you start preparing, you start jump starting your day from the evening before.
Yes.
That's real preparation. Nice.
Yes.
So we're talking about Millwright. You are the Millwright instructor for the diploma program.
Yes, I am, Chris.
What exactly is a Millwright?
Well, a millwright is a person who go about reading blueprint reading, right? They know about diagrams, how to read blueprint readings and manuals, something like that. Go about putting equipments, installing equipments into industries, having those bulky equipments coming together, aligning it perfectly, securing it in there, analyzing it and doing maintenance in it while it is operating. And if something goes wrong in it, they troubleshoot it. They do some critical thinking and they troubleshoot it and they repair it and have it up and running again.
Interesting. So I know that you've spent more than a decade here at NESC as an instructor, but prior to that you would have worked in industry. Tell us about your experience in industry.
Okay, in my industry experience, I have about 16 years industrial experience. And within that 16 years industrial experience, I started at working at Carney, ex-Carney that is, and I was in the machine shop in Carney, and that's where all the equipments come in. I was fortunate enough to be in the machine shop, so I have to be able to be involved with things like compressors, pumps, turbines, conveyors. Everything comes into the machine shop. And we go about repairing the equipments, and some of the times we purchase the parts and we mount it on site right there. Some of the times when shafts are broken and casing are damaged, we machine it right in the machine shop, because in the shop it have all these machines available that you can be able to machine and make the part. After I've left, well, in the inception, Carney closed down, and I have left Carney, I went into NSK. NSK is a contracting firm that you can go there, and I work with a team, and we went in other companies and we perform alignment, laser alignment, dial alignment, and also balancing and vibrating of rotating parts. I worked there for 1 year, Chris, and after I left there, I went into SMCL, where I worked about 3 to 4 years there fine. And I was put together with a team in SMCL, together with a single electrician and also a welder, and we were a team monitoring the factory and under reactive maintenance. Reactive maintenance is something like a shutdown maintenance. It's only when the part has been broken, then we go about fixing it. So we will study always on standby. And that's about it, count up to my 16 years experience there.
How does your experience in industry, or how has your experience in industry impacted the way you deliver your classes?
Oh, tremendously. With the great amount of knowledge if you wouldn't understand anything about a millwright, they are so dynamic and broad. You will not get all the training aspect in one place, all the experience in one place. You need to continuously be moving. As I mentioned, you realize I was in the shop repairing the equipment. I went to do dynamic alignment and balancing, and then I was on site on these operating equipments, right? So I had a great amount of experience under my wings, so I could be able to share with those who are seeking it.
And what's a typical class like with you? A typical class day like?
Oh, that's a lot of fun there. A typical class, Chris, is like, I would come, of course, have my cup of coffee, and I would go into the class. I will have what is known as a set induction. The set induction doesn't be like I'm going to talk about the topic. I try to put them at ease. So I will say a little story or something that I was, on my way to work, and just to put them at ease. That will only go about 10 minutes. And I will take half an hour, and it's important, Chris. But you know why? I'll take half an hour in order to summarize all what we did yesterday, because I want them to get back up into the momentum, what we are going to teach ahead. So I take a half an hour in order to summarize what we did yesterday in order to bring the students up. After I lecture about an hour and a half, and after that hour and a half lecturing, I do what is called like a chew. Make the students, put the students in groups and make them do a little think, peer and share, right? So they can be able to impart their own knowledge and have it retained. Later on that day, I will carry them to the lab. We spend 2 hours in the lab, and I bring them out of the lab in order to give them feedback. And Chris, I'm telling you, feedback is very important, especially when students are doing training, because they know what is right and wrong, because there's many ways you can do stuff. If you give them proper feedback, they will understand what was the right way. And after that feedback, I give them a period in order to complete their logbooks. And of course, I have a little short period where I tell them of the activity that they're going to have for the other day coming.
Okay, so they have a little bit of theory and a little bit of practical, and then you synthesize all of that and they do some reflection at the end of the day. Sounds like a productive day.
That's quite how it is.
Let's talk a bit about what makes an ideal candidate for the Millwright program.
All right, the characteristics would be their attitude, and someone who would love to work with their hands, especially when they love working with machines, when they love working with tools and precision instruments, and they have a keen eye in order to putting stuff together, right? Once the students have that ability, they'll be a good millwright.
So those people who like to buy things and then throw away the instruction manual and then figure out how to put it together themselves, they'd make good candidates.
They are excellent candidates, yes.
Awesome. So tell me, what are the job opportunities, the career opportunities available for graduates of the Millwright program?
Well, basically when you come out from the Millwright class, you become a millwright. And Millwright is involved in every single industry, because they work in the energy sector, industrial sector, the packaging, the transportation, even the postal service. You will find a millwright in there, because there's always an equipment that you need to be able to install and monitor. Now, besides being a millwright, when you come out from this field, it opens a whole new dynamic world for you, because you are involved in so other amount of things or courses that come together in order to become a millwright. You can become an entrepreneur in the sense as fixing domestic pumps. You know, a lot of people nowadays have what is known as a water tank farm there, and they bought a lot of domestic pumps, and these pumps go bad. And I know a lot of my students who actually become entrepreneurs repairing these pumps and installing these pumps for the individuals outside. Together with becoming an entrepreneur, you can also become machine operators, you can become equipment operators, and it just goes on, because the module is so dynamic that you can choose any single one and become perfect in it and have a course out of it.
Now, before we started filming, you and I were chatting, and you told me a very funny story that I want you to share with our audience today.
Okay, that was a past memory from when the students and them now enter into my class. I normally carry them into the lab and introduce them to all the equipments and all the tools and everything. And you know, as normal, any new student come in, you know, you are timid, you are a little, scared a little bit. And I had an equipment I was operating on, and I had asked a student in order to fetch me an 8 spanner. And he had was a little, he actually wasn't confused. He went straight, he knew where the toolkit were, and he gathered up 8 spanner, all with his pride and everything, and he gathered that and he brought it for me with 8 spanners rolled up. I chuckled inside, but I took my 8 spanner and continued to work on the equipment. But you know what, Chris? That same student who was unsure of what was an 8 spanner is right now working in industry as a full-fledged millwright.
Right, and I'm sure he knows what the 8 spanner
Definitely,
is now. And thanks to that story, so do I, because just like him, I was probably going to bring 8 spanners for you too, right? So as we wrap up, Vishal, is there any advice that you have for somebody who might be on the fence about the Millwright program?
I will tell that individual, listen, when you want to do a course, in fact, the Millwright course itself, and you are in the field of repairing stuff, putting things together, and by putting things together, there's so many other things that contribute in order to repairing the stuff. For instance, you'll have to use electrical, welding. If a part is broken, you'll have to machine it. If you are performing these tasks and you are looking for skills in order to enhance all those other areas to install and repair the equipment, Millwright is the field for you. You can join this program in that field. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks for being here. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Jumpstart. Head over to the description box below and click on the link where you can get more information about the program and apply. If you have any questions at all, just slide into our DMs on Facebook or Instagram. We'll be happy to answer any and all questions that you have. Until next time, stay safe and bye for now.